what are your thoughts about secularism, especially in India and its future?
Uh, Secularism, in its original meaning, negates religion. It would mean then non-religious. Secular versus non-religious. That means secular would mean non-religious. This is the original sense. But in the Indian context, there is a different meaning. This meaning emerges from the constitution of the country. The secular ethos of the country, in line with the diversity in the country of religions, there is a different meaning, which is inclusive. And state has no religion. There is no preferential position for any particular religion in India. Before the state, all the religions are equal. They all deserve an equal treatment. And state appreciates the profession and the propagation and spreading of practice of different religions. The state considers all the religionists, people of all religions, from an equal eye. So this is the Indian secularism. And this secularism is in line with the plural fabric of the country. India has all the major and minor religious traditions of the world, and therefore to exist peacefully with one another, to interrelate with one another, to have a harmonious living in the country. This secularism is in Indian secularism is the ideal perspective. And with regard to its future, there are narratives that collide with the secular fabric of the country, of the constitution. We know that. At the same time, they are all temporary phenomena. At the same time, this time, in line with the plural fabric of the country, only the Indian secularism, which is an all-inclusive perspective, has a future. The world at large also, more and more countries today are secular in its functioning. There are people of different religions existing, living in different countries, and they all live harmoniously. The communal frictions and riots are hardly there. So this is the world phenomenon also, that in line with the Indian idea of secularism, which is all-inclusive, this is the real future for the world, because the world is plural, diverse, and all people of all religions have the right to exist and live meaningfully and to practice their faith, to propagate and to profess. And therefore, Indian secularism, in line with the spirit of that, has the future in India, and also this is in line with the future, the world perspective as well.
So, what are the ideals that one must keep in mind while going for an or attending or organizing an inter-religious meeting or dialogue?
Yeah. Dialogue as such is a word that speaks that there is more than one. If it is more than one, it is between, it means between. And if it is more than two, it means me among. And therefore, dialogue highlights the spirit of plurality, that diversity. Here, the dialogue means interreligious dialogue, dialogue among different religions, people of all different religions. And when one is going for a dialogue with the other religions, one should be aware that he is not going to engage in a monologue, a one-sided speaking, a one-sided affair. There are others. He is not going to continuously speak. He is going to listen as well. Listening is very important for dialogue. Equally important or even more important than speaking. Dialogue is also means that one should recognize the other, the presence of the other. He or she belongs to another religion, another perspective, another faith, and that should be appreciated. One should not have negative impressions about other religions. Prejudices should not be there. One should be open to the other. And one should consider the other even better than oneself. That is the golden rule Jesus taught us. That consider the other, give to the other what you would have the other do to you. Therefore, and even Paul said, honor the other above yourself. In dialogue, one should have this respectful attitude of equal treatment and even considering the other above oneself. That wouldn't mean that one is going to cancel one's own religion and accept the other. One would keep one's religion and one's conviction, certainly. At the same time, one would be open to appreciate the good elements in the other religion. Appreciate, even accept, because values are universal in character. Good values are present in other scriptures, in the other religions. One should be open to imbibe the spirit of that. So dialogue is an endeavor which is not an encounter. There is no argument. The dialogue is not like a screwdriver. One you would use the other according to one's whims and fancies, or according to the perspective of one's own religion. Dialogue is an open book. And the ultimate purpose of dialogue, interreligious dialogue, is making friendship with the people of other faiths. Thus, ultimately making a harmonious world. To develop inclusive thinking is very much necessary for dialogue, interreligious dialogue. And the ultimate purpose is harmonious living with one another. And ultimately, religion is the gift of God. And all different religions are different, the branches of the same tree like. And they all have good things. The good God has showered his gifts all over the world. And they are not yours and mine to divide and to hate, to use it for hating one another. But then they are the gift of the same God, and they are the common cultural heritage of the human society. Therefore, one should consider one is mine in special, the others also are mine. That sense of distance should not be there. That all good elements should be, in the spirit of the good elements should be imbibed. And dialogue should have an open attitude, ultimately oriented to harmonious living with one another, making friendship with each other. And to say another thing, we Christians believe that God is the Father, and we are all his children, and we are brothers and sisters. And this applies to not only the Christians, this applies to people of all religions and even those who do not profess any religion. So we are brothers and sisters. And this is the spirit in dialogue. We are friends. We are fellow travelers. We are fellow pilgrims. We are brothers and sisters. And this harmonious living in this world is the ultimate purpose of dialogue. And one should be aware of these matters, these factors, when one is going to engage in dialogue with people of another religion.
Thank you, sir. So, do you think peace studies as a discipline has got a future in our universities, both in India and abroad, or in colleges across? Kindly share your thoughts about studying or having a discipline such as peace studies and its future.
Okay. Peace studies is a slightly uh, different thing than interreligious studies or religious studies. But they are of the same sector because, interreligious studies, interfaith studies, peace studies, Center for Conflict Resolution, etc., it is said in different ways. So peace studies is based on interfaith studies. So therefore, wherever there is a peace studies center, it includes interfaith study and studies and understanding. So in the context of the country and outside the country also, there are several universities where there are centers of departments and centers and chairs of religious studies. Hindu studies, Sanskrit studies is there, Vedic studies is there, Islamic studies, Christian studies, Jain studies, Sikh studies, and the like. And this is optional. There are students who approach after graduation, they approach for post-graduation, and then they even do PhD in that area. And the centers promote supply diplomas, and they promote the understanding in line with the interfaith studies and peace promotion. And peace promotion is ultimately like you could say, the climax of interfaith studies or interreligious studies. And several universities have somewhere or other Gandhian peace studies, Gandhian studies and peace studies, conflict resolution, etc., as their Center for Peace, etc. There are, but they are not enough, and they are optional. Compulsory basis, college level there is hardly any. School level, nil. A country like India, where all religions are there, the religious presence and religious concern is very much. Students should learn religion from the basic classes, from the school days, and on step by not an optional way like in the university. Compulsory basis, as they learn social sciences, as they learn mathematics, as they learn science, they should learn peace studies. They should learn religion. They should learn interreligious concerns and perspectives. And this is unfortunately so in the country. We don't have it in the school days. Only on university level, there are some centers where there is optional, optionally one could approach that. And mainly it is job oriented. So this has to be compulsorily in the part of the education program. And in India, this looks for a better future. To have a bright future India should have religion and all religions and interfaith studies and peace promotion in the education curriculum. And that will give, promote harmonious living in the country much better. And that will reduce communal hatred, communal disharmony, the communal tensions and communal atrocities, communal riots, etc. That will reduce, and that will give more auspicious days. And this should, in the school days onwards and university days, till the university, it should be compulsory.
So, while studying scriptures of various faiths, various spirituality, what are the important points that we must be conscious of, especially studying this cross scriptural values in the Indian context?
Yeah, we know that India has all the major and minor religious traditions. And the world has also different religions, presence of different religions, and religion is all over. And the core of the religion, the best part of religion, in a way we could say, is the scripture, where it is a treasure of values. The religious tenets are there in the religious scriptures. The life and teachings of the prophet or the great men or women who started the religions are there in the scriptures. But at the same time, the core teaching of all religions are the values, the different values. For example, the Bible, the core of the Bible is the Sermon on the Mount, the teachings of ethics, the ethical teachings of Jesus. And such ethical teachings in different ways we have in all scriptures. And the values are the real core of all the scriptures. And there should not be a distance between these values. Values by character is universal. It cannot be limited by boundaries. Value is a value because it is valuable, which is valuable for human life. And therefore, a degree may vary. Degree may vary. And my value and your value should not be compared. They are different values. At the same time, the spirit of different values, good values, should be imbibed without a sort of distance with the other religions. Therefore, cross-scriptural values are to be studied, and they have to be promoted. Cross-scriptural would mean that we are trying to compare them. We are compare means not to establish superiority, that this is superior, that is inferior. No. Value cannot be compared that way. Each value is a value. And they are to be imbibed, the spirit has to be imbibed, imbibed without considering it superior or inferior. And another thing is there in cross-scriptural values, there are related values. For example, the golden rule. The golden rule is expressed in the best way in by Jesus Christ. And the idea of the concept of golden rule also has emerged in the world from the Bible. But at the same time, golden rule in a silver rule way also, or a similar way, it is said in different scriptures, different religious traditions. So the golden rule, when we compare, it can be positively worded, it can be negatively worded. Negatively means that don't do to the other what you would have the other do to you. Instead of that, you could say, don't do to the other what you didn't like the other do to you. But it's the same thing. It is two sides of the same coin. So therefore, cross-scriptural studies can unearth such similarities and what are the similar elements in different values of different scriptures that has to be highlighted. So cross scriptural values is the studying and promoting cross scriptural values and imbibing the spirit of that and living that spirit, I think, is the core of interfaith endeavor. Interfaith studies and interfaith endeavor has to focus on cross scriptural values, and that will give a substantial base, ethical base for the days ahead. That is ethics. That ethics has to be lived in life. Therefore, it is from so similar. Uh, Different scriptures have to be kept an open book together, and we should be learning from different scriptures without bias and without considering superior and inferior. So cross scriptural values have to be promoted all the more today in the area of sector, in the religious sector.
So, what is your vision, especially about the role of youth in maintaining and preparing a life which balances to have a good perspective about all religions, especially as you mentioned in your earlier point that most of the degrees and college university level programs are job oriented. So there comes a question that, okay, if I also take peace studies as an optional subject or a religious discipline as an optional subject, how can that impact their professional lives also so that they can maintain a good perspective about not just about their own religion and about other religions? So what is your thought about that?
With regard to the youth,
Youth.
yeah, we know that our society is a blended one. There is a senior and junior, and it will always be there. So in the way we conduct our life, we have always we have to give importance to the senior generation as we give importance to the senior generation. So we have to give importance to the junior generation as well, because both together they are like two sides of the same coin. Both together compose the society and make the society. The senior generation is past and present together, and the junior generation is present and future. They are complementary. Therefore, in the participation of the junior generation, the youth mainly has a great role in making the society what it is. In making it worse, also they can contribute. Making it well, making it better, of course. Therefore, unless the youth is not included in our schemes, maybe it can become negative. They have to be included so that they imbibe the spirit of the sad, and they the the senior generation's knowledge and wisdom, they will bring forward to the present and then to the future. So therefore, the harmony between the interaction and the harmony between the present, the youth, and the senior and junior generation is very much important. So there, but then the part India is in a special way is a young country like, because the percentage of young youth, yeah, junior generation, the younger generation, the youth are a high percentage, but they are not given due importance today. Their participation is not enough. They need to participate all the more in all the activities, and especially interfaith activities. Interfaith activities is not only about religion. Religion is we are taking religion was, in the world, it has performed a negative role as well, along with the positive. And so that it doesn't become negative, it becomes positive. Religion is to be taken along. One has to engage with religion. At the same time, life is larger than religion. Religion is for life, not life for religion. Religion has only secondary position. So while we engage in interreligious activity, we need to be proactive, pro-life, and promoting life as such. Harmonious living across people of different communities, not only religious, but also linguistic communities, gender communities, uh, and the ideological communities, cultural communities, and the like, regional communities and the like. So therefore, the participation of the younger generation, the youth in this area is very much important. And this is the responsibility of the senior generation. So in all the programs should have a participation of the younger generation so that they get trained, they get tuned to it, and tomorrow they'll pick up, they will develop the leadership quality, and they will be able to lead the society as they become senior. And while not only is preparation for tomorrow, but today also they could join hands with the seniors doing things. So therefore, the importance of the youth being participating in the interfaith activities is highly important, and that is a big homework to be done by the senior generation, so that they include the juniors, the youth, in promoting interfaith relations, and ultimately into the promotion of life to harmonious living and peacefully and harmoniously living with one another. And that will be a better society. That should be the dream that we have towards the future. And it is the responsibility of the senior generation mainly to make sure that the younger generation is participating in all the programs. Otherwise, it will be a failure from the senior generation and a failure before God as well. So therefore, the senior generation should make sure that they make the younger generation participate in all the programs, especially interfaith activities.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very thought-provoking ideas, especially about interreligious dialogues and meetings, especially the relevance of having why one should have a cross-scriptural value studies. And I think this is a very befitting homage to what actually we are paying respect to our late Metropolitan, Dr. Paulos Mar Gregorios of the blessed memory, as he was also an interreligious champion, and he worked so hard for the success of many similar meetings. And thank you so much, sir, for your kind and appreciative words and your willingness to be a part of this interview. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me for this interview, and it was
Thank you, sir.
nice being with you. And
Thank you,
all
sir.
good wishes for you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you, sir. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.